What would you tell your younger self about money?
Save it.
What would you tell your younger self about family?
Love them.
Real Talk with Scorpio, Season 7. On today's podcast, we're talking all things wrestling. Yeah. And I have a special guest with me today, Jimmy Z, friend from high school, great friend. We've been chatting back and forth for a long time on Instagram in the last 2 years. He did my podcast on Season 4, I believe it was. So today's topic is wrestling. We're going to focus on WWE, WWF. And we have a list of questions. I'm still going to donate to a charity by the balloon that Jim selects for me to pop. But let's get into this. Jimmy Z, welcome to Real Talk with Scorpio. How you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, Pete. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming out. Let's do this, man.
Yeah.
So a lot of this is going to be organic, right? We're going to talk about a bunch of different things. And any wrestling fans, I want to see what they have to say, if they agree with us too when they listen to this or watch this podcast. But there's 3 segments that we're going to do. I'm going to ask you a couple questions off the top. Then we're going to do the donation balloon pop right away. But I'm going to actually quiz you, Jim. I want to see if you know the answers to some of these questions I came up with. Wrestling questions.
Yes.
And then we're going to just hit the bang, bang questions, favorite wrestler, best move, all that stuff, right? So the first thing I got, and I'll tell you too, my side too, like when did I start watching and things like that. So let me know first, do you remember when age? Let the people know how old you are so we know.
So I'm going to say I was probably somewhere between the 9 and 11-year-old range. And the only reason I can gauge that, because my memory's a little foggy,
right,
is my dad, first generation immigrant, factory worker.
Yeah.
When he would come home on Saturdays from work, Maple Leaf Wrestling was on.
Yes.
That was what we watched together. And then once in a while, Saturday night's main event, we'd watch that. And then Sunday would be the repeat of Maple Leaf Wrestling. That was like the one thing my dad and I had. You know what I mean? That was our time together. So I know it was at that age because I was still lying on the ground watching while he'd be sitting on the couch. You know what I mean? So I was young.
Yeah. So for me too, I believe it was around that age. So you're 48 right now, right?
I turned 49 this December.
Oh yes. 49, and I'm 49 turning 50 in November. Yeah. But yeah, so around the same age, man. That's when I think my parents, it was more my mom. Hey, don't laugh. Hey, my mom was into wrestling big time. And it was Maple Leaf Wrestling, like you said. And I believe for us in Toronto was Channel 11.
It was, man. Yes. It was Checks. Yeah, it was.
Checks, yeah. Okay, so we got that down now when we started watching wrestling. Now, fast forward, we're adults now in our teens or 20s. Have you been to a live wrestling event?
Yeah, I've been to a couple of them. I was actually at one last year.
Oh, for real?
My wife had just given birth. And me and my buddy Paul went up to Ottawa to watch Saturday night's main event.
Okay.
Up there,
Yeah.
I got the blessing from her. She didn't give me shit. She was happy with it. So but we stayed the night in Ottawa and watched one there. Yeah. It was pretty good. It was fun.
Nice. And you know what's funny? I'll tell you about when I went. I only went one time. But it's funny. We went to Ribfest in, what is it called? Ajax. What's after Ajax again? No, what's after Ajax?
Whitby, where I am.
Whitby. Yeah. So we went to the Whitby Ribfest last year, and they had a wrestling match. And I enjoyed it, man. Like seeing it live. It was amateur wrestlers, though. I don't know how
GWC.
There you go.
GWC. I've taken my son. He's got a picture with that. They've got one really good-looking woman that wrestles there. Like, well, they probably have more, but there's one that's ridiculously ripped and really pretty.
Yeah.
And we got pictures. She's playing with the kid. I got pictures of him in the ring as a little baby.
Oh, nice.
Hulkamania. He had a Hulkamania onesie back then.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And you know what? People don't know this, but I took a nice photograph, a nice snip of you, your wife, Leah, who was on my podcast too, and your son in all the Hulkamania shirts. Yeah. So I'm actually going to post that as a picture too cool. When I put this on. Okay, so my live event, I have a good friend. I was the best man at his wedding, Kevin Mitsopoulos. Another Greek. Me and the Greeks, man. I don't know what it is, man.
Greeks love you, eh?
Yo, So Kevin, he bought tickets for us. It was at the Sky Dome. Oh, Rogers Center now, right?
Yeah.
But I seen wrestling live. We were way up though. So you're looking down at the mat. You really can't see, but it was fun. It was a good experience, man.
The one thing I had forgotten, because the last time I had actually been yeah, I've gone to amateur, but the last time I went to like a live show was when the CNE was still around, dude.
Oh, sure.
That's how long ago it was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I had forgotten, because I was so young then.
Yeah.
I had forgotten how fucking quiet it is.
Yeah.
Like there's no commentating. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like it's not, you're listening to all the fans, sure.
Yeah.
But you're used to the play-by-play, just like if you're watching a football game, right?
Right.
And it was still awesome. But that's the one thing that dawned on me is like, oh wow, this isn't like the energy's there.
Yeah.
But it's just not that you don't get that same. I chuckle with a lot of the commentating. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I know.
You don't get those things, right? But that and the size of some of the dudes, holy crap! Like they're enormous, man.
Yo, bro, I was just gonna say that, man, because this was gonna lead me into something before we get into the next segment. You really get to understand the size, especially Hulk Hogan, man. Like, was he like 6'8", 6'9"?
Yeah.
And this guy's the 24-inch Python. Yeah. When you seen him in Rocky 3 with Sylvester Stallone, it's like it's a wake-up call. I was actually scared to watch that scene, man.
He's and Stallone's not a tall man.
No.
But holy crap, is he in great shape during that Rocky?
Yeah.
He was jacked, and he's still in great shape.
Yeah.
But he's like, he comes up to Hogan's waist, man. Like, ridiculous. Like, the one that got me, so a couple of them, actually, one of the women actually shocked me how petite she actually is. Ronda Rousey.
Oh, really?
You think Ronda Rousey, dude, she was in the ring with Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Same size.
Holy small, like
yeah, and actually very like, I don't want to say actually like not, but she's very feminine and very womanly and very pretty. Like she's an attractive woman, like a very attractive. Like you're sitting there going, holy crap, she's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Like, and I never just watching her fight in UFC and then coming over to the WWE and fighting, she never carried like that kind of, I don't want to be sexist or anything, but she never carried that like feminine, womanly sex appeal with her. But she did. She actually, in person, you see her and you're like, wow, she's pretty good. That and Sheamus. Sheamus is the same size as Roman, as all of those big guys. Sheamus is huge, man. That guy's a monster. He's deceivingly big.
Yeah.
And he's like, because he's so white, you can't tell how good a shape he's in. He's in great shape too, man. He's big. He's a big dude.
Yo, man. So it's funny that you're talking about Ronda Rousey. So one of the wrestlers, we're going to talk about a bunch of things today, but China was probably one of my favorite female wrestlers, just because, I like muscle, right?
Yeah.
Whether it be on a bodybuilder or even a female, I just like muscle. And to see her dominate some of the guys in some of the scripting, I fucking loved it, man. I loved it.
She was an absolute freak show. The fact that they put a man's belt on her, speaks to how respected she was and how much popularity she had, because they would not have done it. They wouldn't have done it. They wouldn't put the IC belt on her or any female at that time. It was well before the revolution. It was well before all of that. It was, she was just a freak show. Yeah. I don't know if you watch those Beyond the Mat specials or any of that.
Yeah, all the time.
Her life story is extremely sad.
Yeah, it is.
It's really sad. And that kind of, I feel bad for that. But I mean, you see it more and more and more. Like there's so many people that are amazing at what they do, but fucked up behind closed doors.
No, man. I know. It's sad to see. And me and my brother always talk about the latest one. And I'm sure they're old episodes too and stuff, but I watch a lot of A&E where it has all these maybe replays too.
Yeah, I like those too.
Yeah, like Stone Cold. And I'm going to get into the wrestlers that passed away, which ones affected us the most.
Yeah.
But it's sad to see too, like the Bret Hart story and the Stone Cold, like the things when they got injured or their life. Man, these things are hard to watch, man, sometimes. Because we see the limelight of it, right? But when you see Beyond the Mat.
When I hear Stone Cold talking about the match with God rest his soul, Owen Hart, where his neck broke.
Yeah.
I watched that match. I didn't realize Stone Cold was a disaster. I didn't realize he couldn't feel anything, and any movement he was having was involuntary.
Yeah.
Then you hear him talk about it.
Yeah.
Then you see it again, and you're like, holy crap, that is exactly what you're talking about. Like, it's hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch knowing what that man is enduring at that time.
It puts a different perspective, and I know what you're talking about, bro. When I watched the Stone Cold segment on A&E, and he's talking about the pain, and when you see that move executed on him, and then you're just picturing what he's feeling. And that's not the only one, Jim. You hear stories about every Mankind, all this stuff.
Mankind, like, where Taker broke his ankle in the middle of that match after the one that he threw through the Hell in a Cell one.
Yeah,
he was wrestling that with a broken ankle, I believe, too.
Right.
Like, these guys. So there it is. Right? Is wrestling fake? No, wrestling is scripted. It's not fake,
but it's
these guys are tough as nails and athletic as hell.
Yeah,
and the women have earned. So you talked about China. Yep, yeah. She was in a category of her own. Medusa was up there. There was a bunch of them that were up there back then.
Right.
Then you got into the beauties, right? The Litas,
Bella Twins,
athletic as hell.
Yeah.
Trish.
Yes.
Mrs. Toronto. You know what I mean?
Yes, like, Canadian. Man.
The bartender from the docks.
Yes.
You know, still athletic. But now, when all of them. You back then it was like this one was athletic, that one was athletic, this one, but for the most part, you just had to be hot.
Yeah.
Now the most gorgeous girl is doing a backflip off the top turnbuckle and landing on 6 others.
Yeah.
They're doing stuff that we could never do in our best days in our 20s. And they've given birth.
You know? Yeah. Yeah, because I saw the Bella Twins, their biography too. But you know, back in the days, remember there was only, correct me if I'm wrong, because I know my history, but there was only 2 real female wrestlers. It was Wendy Richter and the Fabulous Moolah, I believe, that you only really heard about, right? Yeah. It was those 2, right? Yeah.
That was it. And every week there would be some like, and even Wendy Richter's story is sad too, man. But all of them, they're like. They would have like some, they like the Iron Mike Sharp for women that would come in and get beaten up by one of those 2.
Iron Mike Sharp,
like, and there's another one that I never knew why he never went on, because his son is awesome.
Yeah.
But Bob Orton,
Cowboy, Cowboy Bob Orton, yeah,
Cowboy Bob Orton. By all intents and purposes, when you have Randy as your son, you got to think like, yeah, Randy might be way better, but I would have thought maybe he would have been a bigger wrestler, but he wasn't. He was a jobber, man. They brought him in to take pins, like that was it.
Yo. This is one question that I wanted to like get into. I still got to get into this, but this conversation is going nice. But they're called jobbers, right? Yeah. So you said one of them. And I have a question. When we get to the balloon pop, yeah. I know you're gonna know the name, but he was a jobber, but they kind of molded him to a wrestler. So wait for this question, and you'll know who I'm talking about.
No, I'm excited.
But there was another jobber that was always losing the matches. I can't remember his name, man.
Dude, there was SD Special Delivery Jones.
There's one famous jobber. But there was a white guy. There was a white.
Yeah, there was the Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah. Okay.
There was Iron Mike Sharp. There was a bunch of them.
I love those guys, man.
Iron Mike Sharp with the cast, right? Yeah. They were awesome, and you laughed every week watching it. You knew who was losing that match. You'd hear Gorilla Monsoon talking about how tough he is and how seasoned of a wrestler he is.
Yeah.
And then he'd get pinned in a minute.
Holy shit! You know what it's like? You know what it's like contrasting this to the Harlem Globetrotters. So my mom took me to see them, and then the Washington Generals would always lose. It's the same kind of thing. Good.
This team's getting beaten up for the last 50 years. I took my daughter. Me and Leah took my daughter when she was like, I don't know, 10 or 12.
Yeah.
To see the Globetrotters in Oshawa. They were playing there.
Yeah.
And it was a great show. Yeah. Very entertaining. But again, the Washington, what are they called?
Washington Generals.
Generals, yeah.
Okay. So we finished the first segment. The second segment now, we're doing the donation up top. Yep. So the 3 charities this season. season 7 are Claws, Kawartha Lakes Animal Wellness Society. We have the Fundraiser Warriors, and we have Make-A-Wish Foundation. So it's funny, Jim. Yesterday I interviewed Jonathan from Big Brother Canada 11, and before the interview, I was like playing the Pac-Man back there, and I said, if I can pass the level, this is on. I recorded it. It's on Instagram and YouTube. If I pass the level, I'm gonna donate $100 to the charity that he selects. So I got to do that, and it was perfect. It was Make-A-Wish Foundation, so that was nice. And just on the side, I put Make-A-Wish Foundation in this season because I have another channel, a Beverly Hills 90210 channel, right? So I was a big fan of the show.
So was I.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I know the show inside out, right?
So you've got, isn't it on Roku or whatever that the whole day it plays 90210?
Bro, I have the DVDs, man.
Oh.
So what I do, this is not even wrestling talk. I started this channel just for fun to document it. Yeah. I have like 3,800 followers on there. I can't even get 38 on this Scorpio channel. I have some dedicated fans on there, and some of them came over to this channel too, following. They're amazing. But I document, it's like a hobby for me. Every episode, I take pictures or videos and I put them on the channel. I met this girl, Doreen. So I said, hey, do you want to be, because she did something for Make-A-Wish Foundation. So I said, you want to be on my podcast? She said, yeah, and talk about Make-A-Wish. And I'm leading up to something here. So that's why they're in the balloons, because I saw Doreen and I'm like, let me do this. I heard too from one of my other guests recently that John Cena has done the most. The most Make-A-Wish, right? Yeah. Amazing.
So the two, and I'll tell you, WWE has done a great job. So when they find their frontman, their frontman is married to the WWE for as long as he can run with it, physically. Between Connor's cure that Roman Reigns pushes because Roman Reigns had cancer, and between Make-A-Wish, you can, wrestling's fake, wrestling, those things that they do, that's not fake, man. Yeah. What it does to a kid, you're watching 6'6" mound of muscle, heartthrob kind of guy, Roman Reigns, battle cancer and beat it. Probably pretty inspirational if you're young, right? So I like that shit.
I love it. I love it, man. And it's funny too, in the podcast we did together, I thought that, and then that's the season where I was letting my guests choose the charity. And I thought you were going to go for that police foundation or something you were saying to help retired police officers or something, wounded warriors. And then you're like, nah, man, let's put it to the kids, man. And I think we donated to the Fundraiser Warriors at the time. All right.
So I'll tell you, my wife and I have been longtime Wounded Warriors donators, and when we owned the restaurant, we used to run a lot of events, and all the money would go to them. And I'm still a big believer and supporter of them. Something about kids, though, man.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, kids and animals, bro. Man. Okay, Jim, are you ready for this?
Yes, man. Let's hit it.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say this right now. If for some reason you get all these questions right, today's donation will be $50. So I normally donate, I'm not made of money, right?
No, dude, I know.
But I'm donating money here and there. Like
slow down on episodes.
I know. Look at my bank account, man. So I donate like 20 here, 30 there, But then I did the 100 yesterday. But I'm telling you right now, $50 if you get all of them right.
Okay.
All right. First question, Jim. It's either fill in the blank or you're going to answer the question, right?
Okay.
So some of them are easy. Why am I asking this? This is too easy for you, man. You ready?
You probably stumped me on an easy one.
Who was Macho Man Randy Savage's manager?
Elizabeth.
Jesus. Yo, I'm going to mark it down too, right?
So remember, we were just to go off just on a quick tangent.
Yeah.
I was watching wrestling. I got the WWE channel running here. Me and my son watch it all the time, right?
Yeah.
I'm standing there, and in the ring, what they were showing was the best of. It was one of those best ofs with, I can't remember the host, but he's hilarious too. Anyways, it was when Macho Man proposed to Elizabeth in the ring.
Oh, man.
Macho Man, Elizabeth, and what's his name? Shit, I can't remember. Mean Gene Okerlund.
Okay. Mhm.
And it just dawned on me for a split second. Everybody in that ring is dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Everybody in that ring is dead now.
That's great.
Not to put a doom and gloom on it, but puts it in perspective, eh?
No, I know. And it's hard to watch some of those rematches and not
Yeah,
rematches, the reruns of these shows, man. Because yeah, I know, Macho Man. Elizabeth's story was tragic too.
yeah.
And then yeah, Mean Gene
Mean
was
Gene actually lived a good life.
yeah, he lived a long life.
Yeah. Long and prosperous life.
Yo, since you before I ask the next question, you know what's crazy too? When you see these wrestlers, they're giants, right?
Yeah.
The damn managers are giants too. Like if you got Bobby Heenan and
Yeah.
Jimmy the Heart Valentine, these guys are tall too. They're big guys.
Bobby Heenan though, like when he ended up passing away of throat cancer, I think.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
he had shriveled up to nothing.
Yeah.
Like it was awful watching that too, right? So
yeah, you know who else is? It was kind of hard to watch. What's that guy's name? Lex Luger. When he lost
he got paralyzed or whatever, right?
Yeah, man. It was. We're getting to that though later.
Okay, let's keep the trivia going. Let's go.
Right. So you got one.
Roll. Right. I got one for one.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Jimmy Superfly
Snuka.
Jeez, too easy, man. 3. What wrestler slammed Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3?
Oh, again. Set the record for indoor attendance.
Yo, I had to Google something to make sure because he's not the first one that slammed. My original question was gonna be who's the first one that slammed. Then I looked it up, and it was Big John Studd.
I was gonna say because then Studd did the $10,000 if you can slam Studd.
Yes.
I was gonna if I had to guess, that's who it would have been. I wouldn't have known it straight up. It would have been a guess.
It would have been a guess. Okay, Jim, you're on fire. It looks like $50 is gonna be burning a hole in my pocket. Next, who is the Nature Boy?
Ric Flair.
Yes, he's too easy, man. I gotta tell if anyone's listening right now or watching, this was supposed to be an actual competition because we were supposed to have other guests on. So it was going to be like kind of easy questions, but it was whoever answered the questions first.
Oh, like almost like a buzzer. Right?
Yes, like, you got it. You got it.
That would have been fun, man. That would have been
fun. That'd have been nice. Okay, next one. Who is known as the Birdman?
Coco Beware.
Yeah. Oh, this guy, man. Jeez. Okay, these are too easy for you. If you smell what the Rock is
cooking,
there you go. Next one. Oh, so I've been at my job for like 17 years, right?
Yep.
And if we did have other guests on, it was gonna be who answers the question first, right? So who shouts it out. So I was a trainer at Medic Alert for a number of years. And everybody loved my training for the call center because I played a lot of games and I was making them learn at the same time. I was all about memorization and all that, playing games and learning. So when we played games, people used to get upset. I used to put on the board, life's not fair, because if I heard someone say the answer first, and someone else thought they did, then I'd be like, yeah, it was you. And I'm like, life's not fair, man. And they would get the point. So in this one, this is subjective. This is who I think, right? So you could think something else or we could think something else. But I want to see what you say. But if you don't get what I say, you're not getting this right, Jim.
Okay.
Who screwed Brett?
Brett screwed Brett.
Oh, come on, man. Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to give it to you, right? You know what? I was going to do a joke and say, because, we all know that line, Brett screwed Brett, man. But I was actually trying to get serious now. And I was going to, I thought someone would say,
Brett.
Man.
Well, I mean, he wanted to leave. Shawn Michaels didn't. Shawn Michaels did what he was told.
That's right. So I was going to say McMahon. My answer was McMahon.
Yeah, it was. McMahon wasn't going to let Brett leave the champ.
Right.
And Brett was leaving. He knew Brett was going to the fucking WCW and he wasn't going to let it go. And he wasn't going to, and Brett wasn't going to drop the belt to Shawn. So he fucked him over. That's it. My company, life's not fair. What did you just say, right?
Exactly.
If it's my fucking company and it's Vince McMahon's company, you still work for me. You can do what I say. And if you're not, I'm going to bend the rules.
Yeah.
So,
yo, I'm going to give it to you because I like that answer. That was my original answer, but then I was
yeah.
trying to go serious. Like, who did screw that? And we know it's McMahon, but you got that 7 so far. But you already mentioned something that I was going to talk about later on when we're getting into the discussion about who's the favorite, the best wrestling move. But you had a topic, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels controversy. Give me your take on that, because you already said some things, but that one hurt me, bro. When I watched it, because Bret Hart, Canadian,
Well, Canadian, yeah.
and I love that guy, man. I just love Bret Hart.
Yeah.
And when I seen that, I think Shawn Michaels did his move, and the ref was like, "What's the ref's name again?" That guy's name.
That one was fuck. That was one of the two brothers.
Yeah.
That was fuck. It'll come to me.
But yeah, when I seen him just call it and then get out of the ring, Vince McMahon standing right there, the look on Bret's face, that hurt me, bro.
That was so big that was the first time Vince showed he was the owner. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't Jack Tunney, the president, making these decisions. And that was the first time Vince was like, this is so fucking important that I'm going to show who I am here. And he did. And then after that, he did the whole Stone Cold thing and all that shit. Mm-hmm. But it was so important that he made it known to everybody watching he owns that fucking company. Yeah. So, I mean,
did you see Bret just get that loogie right in his eye, man?
Fucking punched him out, dude.
And then
he went and punched him out after.
Yeah. And McMahon, he just he took it. He took it, right?
Yeah, he knew this guy. I'm gonna get punched in the head. Fuck, it is what it is. I'm not charging this guy. I'm not doing anything stupid. Like, whatever. He screwed him in his own fucking country nicely. So.
I know.
And when we talk screw, like, let's be fucking real.
Yeah.
He went over to the second biggest promotion and arguably became the biggest for a little while.
Yeah.
And signed $1 million contract. So did he really get fucking screwed? Like,
no, I know.
You know what I mean?
But it's the principle, though.
I get it. I get it. I
know. No, I know what you're saying.
And I think Bret did a great job carrying the company at a time where there wasn't a lot of talent.
Yeah. Yeah.
There really wasn't. It was like him and Taker.
Yeah.
Like, that was it.
Yeah, man. It was funny to see the biography with Bret, and then he said how he just he gave a good shot.
And you see Vince walking up on his eye.
Okay, yo, you're doing good, man.
Good.
Number 7, number 8. Too easy, man. Who tagged with Hulk Hogan in WrestleMania 1?
Actually stumped me on this one. Hang on, no, I gotta know this. So that was Roddy Piper against WrestleMania 1. I'm gonna say that was.
Oh my god, he's not gonna get it.
You're gonna get me on this one,
folks. He's not gonna get it. I say $50, man. Yes.
Is it Mr. T?
Oh, you. You got it. Wait, did you really forget that though?
For a second, I forgot it. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm telling you that. Yo, when WrestleMania came, that took wrestling to a different level, man. You know what I mean? Cyndi Lauper, Lou Albano. Oh my god,
putting Mr. T in it, man.
Yeah,
like it's exactly what they did with Mike Tyson. And you know what? They never stopped.
Yeah,
when they were doing them in Trump Towers, and they had Trump there, they had fucking Pamela Anderson there, and they had like they never stopped because they knew that every time we can get out into the mainstream, every time we can make someone watch from somewhere else,
it
turns into money.
Yeah,
it turns into money.
It's a business, eh? It's a business, man. Okay, yo, Jim. I think I'm gonna be donating $50 because there's only 2 more questions, and these.
All right, let's hear them.
Okay, number 9. Who is Jim the Anvil Neidhart's daughter?
Natalia.
Last question. I have a bonus question too. Forget this, man. You got to get 11.
Make me get the bonus question.
Yeah, you have to get the bonus question. Okay. Number 10. What the hell, man? What's Vince McMahon's son's name?
Shane.
Look at this guy. He's laughing. He's laughing. Okay, ready? Here it is, man. Here's the question. This guy was a jobber, I believe, in the beginning, and then they tried to make something of him. Who was Macho Man's brother?
Oh, Lanny Poffo.
Jimmy Z.
You're absolutely right. They did try. He didn't
Yeah.
have it, man. Remember
No,
they made him like the
poet, right?
poet, or yeah, he was reading out that scroll.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stupid.
Yo, but you know what? I
Yeah.
did like him at the time because he was one of those guys who could flip and do all these things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell? This guy's pretty good, man.
Yeah,
But yeah, it didn't work out. But I was shocked when I heard that they were brothers, man.
So I knew, like,
I didn't know.
in my 20s or teens that they
Yeah.
were brothers,
Yeah.
but when I watched him speak on that on one of the documentaries, I don't know if it was on Lugers or on Machos or whatever it was, he actually is a bright man. He's a
Yeah.
very bright man. Like, so it probably was, pretty close to his character, his personality, to be the poet, to be what, but just it was a gimmick that didn't work out for them. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Before we get into the last segment, which is it might spark some debate between us, we'll see. But I'm gonna do the donation up front.
Yeah.
So Jim, I said who I'm donating to. Who do you want me to choose? And it's gonna be $50. The left, the middle, or the right?
Your left.
There's this pin. Okay. Season 7. Yo, you're episode 10, man. This is beautiful. Perfect 10.
You just
man.
fly, eh?
Yeah, man. I'm just back to back.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, here we go.
Let's go. I saw it just take off.
Oh my, I gotta get it. Hold on. Ugh. All right. Season 7, episode 10. Star Scorpio would be donating to. Yes, this is nice, man. This is nice. Claws for the animals. Kawartha Lakes Animal Wellness Society. Sweet.
Beautiful.
Okay, back into the podcast, bro. Back into the podcast. Yo, I had to have some notes just in case. Didn't remember some names, man. But let's go. I think it's a list of like 10 to 15 questions. And it might be rapid fire. If we have to discuss this, we'll see. Okay. Third segment. What's the best wrestling move in your eyes?
Wow.
There's so many. There's so many. I have one. I have one, man. But
okay. For me, to be honest, I look at the best in two. One, how fast can you put it on somebody, which is going to be the stunner, whether it's KO doing it or Stone Cold doing it, it's the stunner. Okay. But the most dangerous, craziest fucking ending move is, you actually brought him up earlier, Coco Beware's Ghostbuster. When he'd suplex you and drop you on your head.
Oh, flip. I remember that one, man.
I was like, how is this actually being allowed? Like, these are breaking people's necks here.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yo,
that thing was crazy.
You know what I like, though?
What?
You know what I like? The suplex.
Great move.
I've always liked, and especially the snap suplex. And I believe one of the Bulldogs used to do it.
Yeah, Dynamite.
Yeah, Dynamite.
Another sad story.
Another sad story right there. But yeah, okay. So you would say Coco Beware's?
Coco Beware's is the most dangerous for sure. That thing is crazy.
But what would you like to see? I love seeing.
For me, I like the stunner. I like when Stone Cold would do it. I like the fingers and the fucking stunner. I like when Randy Orton pulls it out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen, like, they do all those memes now where it's like someone's talking and like a little digital Randy Orton comes up and drops a freaking
I haven't seen that.
RKO on him.
I haven't seen it.
It's pretty funny.
Yo, what's crazy? The lineage and the family. Like you brought up Bob Orton, and it's like, holy, his son, wrestler. Yeah. The Samoan line is crazy.
Ridiculous.
Oh,
I actually listened to Jimmy and Jay explain it all once.
Yeah.
There's like 50 tentacles to it, eh? It's
crazy.
Everywhere, man. It's crazy how many of them there are.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, everybody always just thinks of the Islanders.
Yeah.
And then you think of The Rock.
Yes.
You forget about Tamina and all of these other ones that are there, right? Like, they're all Roman, all of them.
Yeah. Hey, was Rikishi? Is that the name?
Yeah.
Rikishi, the big guy.
Rikishi's their dad, man.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah. The only one that I think he actually might even be an uncle.
Yeah.
Was Yokozuna.
Yokozuna. So
Like
yeah,
ridiculous how big that family is, from Snuka to all the way through. Like it's crazy.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay, cool, man. Um, okay, this kind of ties into it. The best finishing move. I was talking to Greg Simon at Z's B-ball when we went there to Z's house the other day, and I told Greg what mine was. Um, but would you say yours is a stunner then?
Yeah,
So is
yeah,
it kind of ties in? You
yeah.
know what I liked? Even though he came from WCW, Goldberg, right?
Yeah, that spear.
Yeah, the spear.
Oh, and then they did the jackhammer. The jackhammer
Yes.
was a great move. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god. There's something about it. When he's in the corner, like football style. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. You gotta love that move.
So I watched the special, and I can't remember who it was that was talking, and they said that they've taken spears from, and they named it Goldberg, blah blah blah. Roman Reigns is hands down the one that if he actually gets you with the spear,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how gentle he is and how like professional he is with it, your ribs are bruised for a week.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
man. Nuts.
So like that should say it all, like how strong these guys are, man.
Yeah.
Because Goldberg's no slouch and never was, man. He
No.
still looks incredible. He played in the NFL, you know what I mean? Like
yeah. Aesthetically, you know how I love looking at Goldberg walking the ring? There's something about him, man. I'm like, yo, it's like
yeah.
want to be him, man.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Okay, ready for the next one?
Yes.
Who's the best off the ropes? And there's so many people going off the ropes, but we can narrow it down. There's a lot of new wrestlers too, but more like the Steamboats, the Macho Mans, the Jimmy Snukas. But if there's the Hardy Boys, but who did you like to see fly off those ropes?
So I'll tell you, I do actually have a new favorite.
Oh,
and he is a new guy, newer, and that's Ricochet.
Oh,
Ricochet. This guy, he defies gravity.
Yeah.
However, going back in the day, our time frame back then, Saturday night main event times, Ricky the Dragon.
It's got to be Steamboat. Yeah.
I love Ricky the Dragon. I still love Ricky the Dragon, man.
Yeah.
Love him.
So Steamboat. You know what's crazy? Now that we're talking about it, you're making me get nostalgic, and then I go back to my real life and forget who I am. Like, but I'm living a dream right now, talking about wrestling, man. And there's a feeling you got when you woke up on Saturday and watched wrestling. You know what I mean? There's a feeling because you believe it's real and you're into the characters, and then they made the cartoon, and you're like, it's amazing, man.
Yeah, remember that? There was a cartoon Saturday mornings. Yeah. Like if they didn't have your brain all of Saturday, they found a way to get it, right?
Okay, next one. Your favorite manager. Again, there's a list of them, but just off the top of your head, who did you like? We're talking about the Lou Albanos, the Elizabeths, all of them.
So I got to say, my favorite of all time, just because I found him funny as hell, is Bobby Heenan.
Bobby Heenan
is ridiculously funny, man. He's so funny.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. And I really like the managers that interfere with the wrestling matches. You know what I mean? He's one of them. Okay, next.
Even Mr. Fuji, man.
Oh,
he hit you with the
cane. Jesus. Okay, next one. You know what? I only seen a few WrestleManias, but I'm going to ask you. You're my guest. What's your most memorable WrestleMania? Do you have one?
Well, I'll tell you, there's two or three that I'm like, wow. Like, actually, my wife loves wrestling now.
Yeah.
But she'll stop. But The Rock coming out against Cena.
Okay.
Oh my God, with Flo Rida singing, with Flo Rida rapping, dude, I got goosebumps right now. Jeez. That part, that match, ridiculous. I love that one. Most of them have to do with The Rock or Stone Cold, to be honest. But I did watch that WrestleMania 3 with Hogan and Andre, and just knowing the backstory there, I'm going, they put wrestling on the map with this.
Yeah, man.
And like, I know WrestleMania 1 started it, but WrestleMania 3 was the one that changed it from an event to a spectacle.
Yeah. Changed
it from an event to household names.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Like your mom doesn't know who Steve Austin is. She knows who Hulk Hogan is.
Of course.
Steve Austin generated more money than Hulk Hogan ever did. However, she knows who Hulk Hogan is. Hulk Hogan brought wrestling to the mainstream.
Yeah.
Made him a household name.
You know what's crazy? Like, if Greg was on here, he would tell you, like, he's a Nature Boy Ric Flair fan.
Yeah.
And me too. But that was kind of, I don't remember watching him though, man. You know what I mean? I just knew about him, but he wasn't my go-to guy. Like Roddy Piper was my go. I like Roddy Piper, right? But yeah, what you're saying, put it on the map. And I remember we had to rent it. I remember, I don't know if it was one of my friends that rented it, pay-per-view.
Yeah,
and
it was
we
like
seen
fucking $100 or whatever back then too, or whatever. Like,
and
yeah,
just
you had to. It was pay-per-view.
But yeah, for me, it's anything to do with The Rock in WrestleMania, Stone Cold. But I really have to shout out the first one, man, because again, I was a kid, and to watch, and then Mr. T in it, and you're like, this is amazing. I watched the A-Team, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. The A-Team, Friday night TV, man. The A-Team.
Yeah. And then to see a musician like Cyndi Lauper, we all like, girls just want to have fun back in the days, right? To see her at the event, you're like, holy, Muhammad Ali.
Instant credibility, man. Special guest referee, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you have, so I watched a clip, Arsenio Hall, where it was, you've probably seen it.
I have it on tape. Tyson, I have it on tape, man. VHS.
Tyson, and when Tyson looked, and you know, I think Tyson doesn't get the recognition he deserves. He's not a stupid man.
Yeah.
He was coked out, probably juiced up, and dealing with demons.
Yeah.
And said a lot of stupid, crazy ass shit, full of testosterone and angry.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm not saying it's right, I'm saying I get it. When he says all heads will bow and all tongues will profess, I'm like, yeah. So you take that man that said that and you bring him in 9 years later into WrestleMania too, right? Like, so you got two of the biggest boxing legends of all time in WrestleManias. The two best.
Yeah.
Arguably the two best ever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Instant credibility. Instant credibility to the event, right? So it's cool.
And you know what's funny when you mentioned that Arsenio, I have a lot of Arsenio Hall. I have a lot of things on VHS. Like people wouldn't believe, man. And I have that one where it was Tyson, it was Muhammad. I think Sugar Ray Leonard was on that couch too. And when Arsenio asked who would win in their prime, man, he said it's just crazy. Tyson, man, hands down. And Muhammad was so humble at the time, and he had Parkinson's, but he was still a funny guy, man. You know what I mean? But yeah. Okay. You ready for the next one?
Yep.
What wrestler's death impacted you the most? And I don't know if you know them all. There's been a lot, and there's probably some I don't know, but I have a list here. But I have mine that impacted me. But
let's hear yours, because I have a feeling I know who you're gonna pick, just because you're very Canadian, right?
So. There's a lot of them. You know what? It doesn't have to be one. I got to tell you, I told Greg the other day when Randy Savage passed, and just to hear how we had that heart attack while he was driving or something, I'm like, that one hit me. British Bulldogs, Davey Boy Smith, that one killed me. And the one that hurts the most is how he died. Like Owen Hart, how he dropped from thing. That one hurt.
Workplace accident, man.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
That's what it was. Yeah. That one hurt, man.
Fucked up. The guy died in the middle of a fucking ring at an event.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, like,
but the one probably that hurts me, like I gotta say the top is Roddy Piper, man. Piper for me.
That one's pretty recent too. It's not. So I'll tell you a bunch of them different reasons. So I'll tell you which. So it's not in a good way.
Yeah.
But Benoit killing his whole fucking family and then killing himself, it's got to be pretty impactful for a couple of reasons. One, shed some light on the damage that goes on in people's brains from taking bumps for fucking years.
Yeah.
Two, mental health and all of that, you know, issues. And it's fucking disgusting that a human being would do that, right? So I'm going to say that one probably, even though I don't like to talk about that one because I don't like to pretend that guy doesn't fucking exist. I'm on a bunch of forums. I always get into fights with people on Facebook over, you know, someone's a best. And I'm like, stop bringing this guy up, man.
Yeah.
You're bringing up a fucking murderer. Like, fuck it. Like, stop it.
Yeah. I have him on my list.
Owens is really, really fucking bad. You know, which is another one that's sad? It's fucking Ultimates.
Oh,
heart attack right after the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that
shows
that
up at Monday Night Raw, dies.
Yeah, that one.
That one's pretty bad too.
I just watched that. I had it on. My wife was watching it just to hear his story too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he
You,
went
you
off the
saw,
rails a bit too.
yeah, but you've seen his story, like when he was in. It's so
Yeah,
funny. I think he was an awkward kid and all that, and he started working out, jacked up, and I
yeah.
like to hear their stories, man.
So do I.
But yeah, okay, yeah. There's a lot. Eddie Guerrero. There's a lot on that path.
Yeah,
You know what? You know what trips me out when you always hear the news of someone passing, whether it be an entertainer or someone we know. But when it comes to wrestling, when you don't know what they were doing in their life now and all that stuff.
yeah,
So one of the ones I was surprised about was Rick Rude, Mr.
yeah,
Mr.
yeah. Mr. Perfect.
Mr.
No, it wasn't
Perfect.
Mr.
No,
Perfect.
no, not
It was
with the Jack body, Rick Rude. But I know,
yeah, Rick
but
Rude.
yeah, Mr. Perfect died too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Bobby Roode wrestles now in NXT and WWE.
Wait,
Who's Rick
who?
Rude's son?
Who?
Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He
Okay.
spells it the real way,
Yeah.
which I think is Roode, but it's his
Okay.
son.
Okay.
And he's
Wow.
jacked too. He's not as big as his dad, but he's jacked too.
Yeah. Remember when he came out? That got all the girls into the
He had all
wrestling.
the tights. He had the pictures of the women on his tights.
Yeah. Okay. Next. Oh shoot. You ready for this?
Yes.
Rock or Stone Cold, and why?
Yeah, that's
Let's see if
like
we, let's see.
that,
Let's see. Let's see if we're the same.
So there's for me, my favorite of all time is Stone Cold. So I'm gonna pick Stone Cold.
Okay. Yeah.
What The Rock has done,
Mhm.
ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
That guy, the bit and his wife is his ex-wife, sorry, big part of the thing that is Dwayne Johnson. You know what I mean? Like this big part of it, man. That guy's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Pure wrestler, pure wrestling, keep it in the ring. Let's not worry about movies and shit like that. Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Love Stone Cold.
Yeah,
but
trust me.
it's really a coin toss. Those two are both awesome. And it's sad that they both left right around the same time too.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I love the battle between them, like the showmanship and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's unmatched. Yeah. But Stone Cold for me is of all time, my favorite wrestler. I don't care who. Like someone would say Ric Flair, someone would say Hulk Hogan. No, and someone would say The Rock. But for me, there's something about Stone Cold that I just love, man.
Me too.
Austin
me
360,
too.
baby.
Yeah.
But they both did so much for the business, man. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Okay, best tag team.
Shit, that one's hard. I'm gonna go with the Hart Foundation.
Oh,
that's what I'm gonna go with. But I mean, it's hard not to say the Road Warriors or whatever. But for me, it's the Hart Foundation, man.
Yeah.
Jim Gamble and Bret Hart, when they were the pink and black, they were awesome. They were awesome.
I love them, but mine is British Bulldogs. My childhood when I'm coming out.
Again, another great. Yeah. And then they're like, really, you could only go with either the Killer Bees or the Rougeau.
Oh my God, the Killer Bees. The Rougeau brothers.
Jacques and Raymond. Then the one became the Mountie.
Yes.
Jacques became the Mountie.
Yo, did you like Axe? What are those guys? The big guys.
Demolition.
Yeah, did you like those guys?
Yeah, I like them too.
Yeah.
I like them too.
Okay, next. Best entrance music. Hey, we have to be the same on this one. We have to.
Yeah,
go ahead.
It's gonna be the glass break of Stone Cold, and that's it. Like, I'll tell you though, there's two people whose entrance music, it's amazing, and it's so funny because it can't be a coincidence that these two people, their entrances will rock the whole crowd, and that's Seth freaking Rollins and Becky Lynch. Their fucking music now is on point, man. The crowd goes crazy. Like, we stop in the house and watch because Seth Rollins is fucking amazing going into the ring, right?
No, so I'm not up on the wrestling now. My brother is. So I got to see who you're talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And just do Seth Rollins' entrance. And then do Becky Lynch, who's his wife.
Okay.
Her entrance.
Yeah.
You'll see very similar music, same fucking reaction. She probably gets more of a reaction than he does.
Yeah.
But the crowd goes insane.
Yeah.
And he's hilarious. He's just like walking around like this. It's so funny, man.
Okay, I'll watch that.
Yeah.
You know who had a crazy entrance? Ultimate Warrior, man.
Oh yeah, man. The guys, they all laugh. They're like, how he wasn't winded by the time he got down there.
Oh man. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
I gotta hear your take on this, man. Funniest wrestler. And I'm talking about when they do the interviews before and after, and even the showmanship with Stone Cold with the with the monster trucks and all this trucks, all the things.
So I'll tell you, different generations.
Okay.
I think there's two that. So back in the day, there's only one. It's Piper.
Of course. Hands down.
The shit he did back then.
Yeah.
He would be banned off fucking TV now. There would be fucking like all kinds of calls to erase wrestling for the shit he did.
Yeah.
Now, fuck, like he was guaranteed he was the funniest there. Now there's a lot, but even in the between, Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle was hilarious. The Rock was hilarious. Like these guys were funny. Now I don't know that there's anybody that's that funny anymore.
Yeah.
Like Piper's Pit was a joke, man. The whole time. Like it was so funny.
It was nice to see his biography to show how he built up that and the whole Piper's Pit thing. That was, you're right. Piper hands down in the past. But I gotta tell you, there's moments that Rock got me like going, and
Rock
then
is hilarious.
You know what the funniest was though? When Steve Austin had the crowd just kept saying, "What?" Oh my god. What? Yeah. Okay. We're almost done, man. We have to agree on this too.
Yeah.
And I know there's a bunch of wrestlers, but there's something about this guy that I think, who's the craziest wrestler? And I'm talking, we started talking about wrestlers wrestling with injuries, and they're broken this, and they're still wrestling, and they're picked.
It's Mankind, man.
Okay,
Mankind. It can't be anybody else but fucking Mick Foley.
Mick Foley, man.
Mick Foley's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
My wife, like to this. So first of all, she loves him.
Yeah,
she loves him. Mm-hmm. My kid loves the John Cena music and the entrance music. We play that for him all the time. She keeps trying to play the Mick Foley music to see if he'll like it the same, and he never does. But the guy's fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
ridiculous. The chair shots, the off the cage again, ridiculous.
Yeah, you just alluded to my next question. But on Mick Foley, what was his two names again? There's three names: Mankind,
Mick Foley.
But what was the
Dude Love?
Dude Love. That was another one, right?
Yeah. And then there was Cactus Jack.
Cactus Jack. That's the guy. Cactus Jack. I think he fought Taker as Cactus Jack. Did he?
No.
When he threw, what did he
through the cage? That was Mankind.
That was Mankind. Yeah. Sorry. Mankind. Who's the puppet? Who's the sock puppet?
That was Mankind.
Mankind. Too. Yeah, you're
right. And
Mick
Foley. Yeah. But because it was the mandible claw.
The mandible claw.
And then he put the sock on, and it was Socko. And if you remember, him and The Rock were a tag team, and it was the Rock and Sock connection.
I like that one. That was funny. But no, he is the craziest, hands down.
Yeah, hands down.
When Taker off the metal, the cage.
Yeah, the hell.
I heard too. His tooth was lodged somewhere, right?
His tooth was sticking out of his nose.
Yeah,
his tooth went in and out. It was sticking out of his nose.
Yo, he took shots, man. Shots.
So if you hear Taker talk about it, Taker was scared.
No, I know.
Taker's I was just sitting there hoping he would move. He was standing at the top of the cage. So you hear him talk about the springs, the things that they used to bind the cages together back then were just popping off as he's like, we were going to go through it. It was just breaking. Like the metal bindings were breaking.
Yeah.
Two of them, 700 pounds between the two of them up there. They're, it's going to happen.
It's nuts, man.
Crazy.
Yo, they took it to a different level. So one of the last questions is, what did you think of the cage and ladder matches? Because the Hardy Boys went crazy on that, getting hit by chairs.
Two of the best matches. Yeah. Two of the best matches of all times. Not because they were exciting and everything else, but just if you like that kind of like pushing, is that TLC match that you're talking about with the Hardy Boys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian.
Oh,
ridiculous. But again, shows you how tough, shows you how athletic. You look at the Dudley Boys, they're a little round around the waist, right?
Yeah.
Look at how athletic those fucking guys are.
Oh yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like they're all athletes in there, man.
Yeah, and they take the chairs, they take the hits. It's like, yo, it's hard to watch though sometimes when they're on the ropes and on the ladders, and I'm like, this is insane, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Punishment.
But those two matches are both crazy ass matches.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yo, just before I ask the last two questions, You know, Tess, man. Remember, Tess passed
Yeah,
away, right?
yeah.
Tess was from
Whitby, man. He was a
Whitby, right?
doorman in downtown Whitby. Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That was one of the shockers too when I heard he
yeah.
passed. Okay, Andre the Giant or Big Show?
Oh, shit. Okay, unpopular opinion.
mm,
Show, big show,
mm,
big shows. I don't even know if he's been around longer,
yeah,
but man, Andre, a good portion of his career, you didn't see him. You only started seeing him right around that WrestleMania,
yeah,
and when Heenan was his manager and stuff. And then, kind of disappeared because of injuries and everything, and then he passed away. Right,
yeah.
like
That's
sad passing. But I'm saying in terms of just the wrestling business, big show.
Joe. Yeah,
Yeah,
both of those guys scared the hell out of me, man.
of
Like,
course they do, man. They're giants.
yeah. You know, it's crazy when I was talking to Greg. He said he'd been to wrestling matches too, but I think he said he met Andre and the whole hand comparison, I
Yeah,
think high five or something, covered his whole hand.
of
It's
course
like
it would,
this
man.
guy's nuts, man. That guy's
Dude,
huge,
that guy
man.
would drink. It's like I was watching things that were talking about the amount of booze he would drink in a night.
Yeah.
Guy would drink like 2 cases of beer and 6 bottles of wine.
I know.
Like,
Yo, but it's fascinating to watch those things with Andre the Giant. The whole his friend from back home. I don't know
yeah,
who's in France, whatever. How they were in the parking, they're stuck in the parking, whatever. And
yeah.
he just lifted the back
So,
of the car and moved it
yeah.
out. Yeah.
The guy that's the ref that was Andre's best friend,
Mhm.
that owns the bar or whatever that Andre would drink at.
Yeah.
Like when you hear that guy talk, you're like, holy crap. Like when he tells the stories about Andre, like imagine like Andre, like not to get crude, but trying to take a shit in an airplane.
Yeah. Jeez.
Like,
I know.
how does he even
Hotels,
fit in there to take a piss?
everything. Yeah, you're 6'2", right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 6'1", and I
6'1".
die.
Those things are cramped,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Last question is the personal question. So, yo, this has been great, man. This is all wrestling, reminiscing and stuff. My last question, I'm gonna ask you a real talk question. I don't think you answered this when I didn't think I had it at the time. So I
Okay.
want you to answer those personal questions. But favorite wrestler of all time was the last question, but I think we know
Yeah.
for me and you is
Stone
the
Cold.
same, right?
Yeah.
Who is it for you?
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold. I think
All
I said Hulk
time,
Hogan
yeah.
for a minute. Sorry.
No,
Yeah.
Stone Cold.
Yeah, all time. Stone Cold. Okay. Jimmy, this is the questions that I brought in 2 seasons ago, and I'm gonna see what you say to it. It's a would you rather question. Would you rather visit your younger self and give them advice for the future? Or would you rather visit your older self and have them give advice to you right now?
Yeah. So I'm gonna say my older self to give me advice now because I think I'm capable of absorbing it, digesting it, and doing something with it. My younger self was too busy trying to get drunk and meet chicks
Yeah.
and do stuff like that. So I wouldn't have been able. People gave me advice and I never took it. And I learned the hard way. So yeah, it would be a wasted trip that way.
Yeah.
You know?
Wasted trip. That's funny.
That's all.
Okay.
How about you, Pete?
Wait, hold on. It would be a wasted trip. Yo, you put me on the spot, but you know what? I know I would go back for sure. I don't want to change anything with my life now, and that's what would happen if you actually change your.
Yeah, that's a good. You would change your trajectory.
Change your trajectory, but I would go back and teach myself about money, like hands down. I'd teach myself about money.
I know if you were. So here's the thing: when I started in policing,
Yeah,
I remember sitting. I was 22 years old, man. 23. I just turned 23. Sorry.
Mhm.
I remember sitting in a 12-person little class being lectured by the president of our association of finances and how to watch your money and you know what it was doing? It was going right in one ear and right out the other.
Yeah. Wow.
Telling us, do this, do this, do this, do this. You will be fine for life if you do these things. I broke every rule he talked about.
Wow.
I got divorced. I blew money on booze. I got in trouble. I did everything wrong. I don't think I was willing to. I was ready to. I was a fucking knucklehead, man. I was now. So I see your point. If you are open to it, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know that I was, man.
Yeah.
I really think come like my mid-30s, especially 40, really became game changers, and my wife obviously became a huge game changer in the trajectory of my life, right? So
Yeah. Yo,
but
man.
yeah,
Yo,
I
thanks
see
for
your
sharing
point
that,
though.
man. Yeah.
I like where my life is now. I don't want to really
No.
change it, but yeah.
Yo, thanks for sharing that, Jim.
Yeah, no
Just
problem.
quickly, I didn't know that the police colleges, because I work with police in my
So it was
job, and
just
it's
my
like
association,
the
the president of my
association.
association.
Okay,
It
okay.
wasn't the police college. It wasn't
Oh,
anybody from Durham regional represent. It was he comes in to introduce himself
yeah,
and gives you, a 5 minute spiel that turns into 3 hours.
yeah, yeah,
And because you're brand new, you're not saying nothing, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he's the president of your association. So
Okay.
he's good. Terry Ryan, he's passed away,
Mm,
but I remember listening to him, and it
yeah,
went right in and right out,
in and
man,
out, in and out.
right in and out.
Okay, quickly, last 4 questions. This has to do with your younger self. So, no matter if the person that I'm interviewing picked the older or younger, this is your younger self.
Okay,
What would you tell your younger self about money?
save it,
What would you tell your younger self about family?
love them,
What would you tell your younger self about friends?
love them, but make sure you make good choices with who your friends are.
And lastly, what would you tell your younger self about love?
It's there. It's up there with your health in terms of how important it is for happiness. But it doesn't grow on trees. So when you do find it, take care of it.
And that's how we're ending the podcast. Jimmy, yo, I'm going to have you on once in a while, man. And we got to discuss some topics. This has been amazing, man. Thanks
Absolutely,
for coming.
man. Thanks for having me, bro.
All right. This is Real Talk with Star Scorpio Season 7, Episode 10. And we out.